if you're in this industry, the one that my wife and I talk about the most that I think is really important to understand the history is the color of law. The color of law is all about, like, the how segregation and how racism have affected housing policy over the past century. And it is really fascinating to look at and to see, things like redlining, things like mortgage policies. There's just a lot there that you can see today, exactly where, our highway system was purposely designed to divide neighborhoods and communities
Yep.
and keep people separate. And this book goes into it in depth, and, in terms of, like, impact on, if you want to understand how we got to where we are today. It's a really compelling read, and one that my wife and I talk about all the time. The other one that I'll give you is not as deep. um, if you are familiar with the guys at Base Camp, Jason Fried and um, David Hansen, they wrote a book. They wrote a number of books, but the one that I like the most is one called "It Doesn't Have to Be Crazy at Work." And it's an easy read. It's a light read. It's mostly just kind of like a bunch of little essays, but it's really thoughtful in how they think about businesses and how do you make things so that they are kind of calm and they don't have to be crazy. There's a lot of things in there. The idea of the trust battery and making sure that your trust battery is always charged. For me, as a founder, as an owner, as somebody running a business, I think a lot about the weight of the owner's words. And, like,
Mm,
when I say something, sometimes I don't necessarily say, hey, you need to go do this right away. But because it's coming from the president of the company, somebody will take it as, like, oh, this has to be super high priority. And so, reading that book has really made me more thoughtful about, the weight of my words as the boss. And what does that mean? And how do I make sure that I am more clear in my direction in my communication? But it's a great, easy read if you are looking for a different way to think about how to organize your business.